Okay, so once again, let's dig into your login activity today, and we will going to apply a session as well. Right. Okay, let's giving you a clear application first here. Okay. Okay, this will be our login. No. This is the validate already. Let me go back to login.php. Okay. So once again, there's no special on our login.php. Only we have only added a comment on the top that will highlight it as red. Say, for example, I just straight away click login without writing any username and password. The please enter both username and password is based on the error message. Based on the error message that we have done it on your phone. Okay, check it out. Our error message appears to be a function I set, which is the $error is came from your validate_php login. And we just highlighted with the style color so that this echo $error will appear in that red font. So that's the reason why this message is appearing. And by the way, the please enter both username and password is not coming from this login PHP. It's basically now coming from a validate_php. So which means if I just entered randomly here with password and username, invalid username or password. So because in our validate, in our form, by the way, we call the validate_login.php, and it will going to show you that message in our validation. But perhaps, of course, your validation needs also to carry on with the session. That's why we started now with the session_start. Why? Because the $error will not appear on the other page if you don't allow them to activate your session. And where is that one? Here in the validation. Where is our validation? Okay, see? Please enter your username and password. This is the error message between your function empty and or function empty also for the password. And either one of these will become empty if this will appear, right? Because the or condition. And this error now is appearing like this if you don't write anything there. Right? Oh, anyhow, login, sorry. Please enter both username and password. So that's the reason why this please message error is appearing. If your username and password is not matching to the database, say for example, I'll just write random username and password, click login. Invalid username or password. That is coming from a $. That is coming from a $error. And that $error because of the session, and this one is appearing, which is invalid username or password. Now, the catch here is this must be matching now to your database, right? If you remember, I asked you to create first your MySQL. It should now match literally through your database. And of course, only this record should only appear between your username and password, right? So which means it needs to have a database connectivity. So let's go back on your validate. It's only the problem with this one is a bit bloated though because all the codes are here. The session start is here, the database connectivity is there. What else? The validation is there, the insert is there. So many. But if we will make this one a bit little cleaner, this database connectivity, this one, I can do one thing. I can make this one separate file. This one. We can remove this one here in your validate and save a new file, db connection.php. But don't forget to insert or a line here that you will going to include the multiple file, right? So which means you have to include your database. These are the recent activity we did, right? But for now, okay, just for the record, we put them all together in your validate_login. So that's why we have this connection database parameters. Localhost is basically if you're running on your localhost. This is quite common. Session DB might be different from your meeting project. This is the name of your database. Username of your database, normally root, and perhaps if you don't have password and your database is empty. Alright, so which means now there will be a try catch over here, because if there's an error, it will appear error message somewhere in your database connectivity. Right, now let's see if your username and password matches on your database. Right, perhaps you have done successfully inserted. We will now use a preparation for your execution of SQL statement using an insert into. Oh no, 1 sec, because this one is registering, right? Right. Over here, I'm sorry. Select star from login where your username is binded, logical add to your password. So you can see now that the binding parameter using a PDO is with an arrow notation equals to your $STMT. This is a part of our PDO database connectivity on your PHP. So we just bind it with a variable so as we could also compare it literally from your username and your password columns on your login table. So perhaps now this one is very important also because we have done this one on searching. If we search one ID, but here in fact this is login, we have two parameters condition over here that the username should match with the logical AND. I know it's a bit tedious and hard to code this one, but this is just only one time. We only apply this one in your login. Okay, now let's make a demonstration over here. Let's say Ahmed Hansel123. Hansel is the username. Password is 12345. Right, and there you go. So you can see now that the main page .php has been executed. Why? Because we have a function that the location, once that it's successful, it will run on the main page .php. But this is the tricky part. How Hansel or the username is displayed on the other page because of the session, right? Because of the session. Once that it's the login is successful, $session has been identified. See, $session from the login and username is true, which means now we can now print this username. So the username is basically, this one is the variable or the variable you assign from your session. So that the header function, location, main page.php will display. So that's the reason why if I open main page.php, we know this variable, the session, login, or username, we can now display it. Okay, this is now the main page.php. It also includes session_start function, and we have here the iset function. If not, it will revert you back to login. Okay, listen first. Boys, listen. What will happen if you're not successfully logged in and you don't have a session? what will happen? You will come back to login page. You will literally come back to login page. I will show you. Because the logout was destroyed. Your session and all the variables is unset. I'll make a demonstration. Say for example, I will log out. Can I jump straight away in the main page? Can I jump straight away from the what is that one? Main page.php? Do you think I can jump straight away here? I will write here main page.php in the URL. Main page. See what will happen, If I enter this one, I'm still reverting back here. It doesn't allow me to open that main page because the main page.php also needs a session. And perhaps, of course, the session is not starting by the time that your username and password are matched in your database. So that's the reason why that our main page header location will revert you back to login.php if the session is not there. Right? So, of course, if the session is there, an echo welcome session username variable, session variable will display, and at the time maybe you have one button for logout. Right. This one is now appearing successfully. So let me do it once again. I will log in as Hansel. My password is 12345, and if I log in, there you go. See, you can see now the main page.php there. This logout will call upon the logout.php, where the logout.php will going to show all these functions that you will going to terminate or unset your session, destroy the session. And this is very helpful. This header is very helpful because automatic it will revert you. It will load back to login.php. So in your minute project, you can do the same.